You are now listening to Thinking Out Loud with your host, J Lip.
Stop the music. It's your boy J Lip. You know what this is and you know who I am. This episode of Thinking Out Loud contains language that some may find not suitable or offensive. If you would like to excuse yourself right now, now's the time. Alright? Well, let's go. You know what this is and you know who I am. It's your boy J Lip representing Thinking Out Loud podcast. Detroit by way of Columbus. And in the building tonight, we got my special co-host, the big homie C.Smith representing the D. What up, C.Smith?
Hey, what's going on, man? What it do?
Hey, man, appreciate you, dog. And then we got two special guests in the building. One you may be more familiar with, the big homie, Levi. Levi, what's good, baby? Representing what?
I'm in Troy. What's up?
And then, of course, we got the other big homie, special guest in the building, D.Woods.
What up, dog?
D-Woods with the family in the background. We love it. We love to hear the kids.
Man,
D-Woods love the kids.
I'm trying to get it under control, dog.
You do what you gotta do. But we gonna keep this shit moving. So, yeah, I feel that intensity. That's what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, we're going to dive straight into it tonight. Now, this week, we have gone through a lot as far as it comes to sports, entertainment, and politics kind of coming to a head as far as the coinciding of issues between both factions. And I want to get y'all opinion to make sure we set a baseline for this episode. I believe sports and politics have reached a point where they are one and the same. What do y'all think?
It's always been that way.
Always. So why is it now that we're seeing more of it than we ever have before?
Because of 45.
Yeah, I was just about to say because of we got a very divisive president, man. Like this nigga fucking up shit, man.
And go ahead, expound on that. Why do we see it more? You said because he's fucking up shit. Like, what do you?
Because we've never seen, bro, a president like attack sports figures, attack news, attack like this nigga be out here just saying whatever. Like this nigga ain't got no high title.
I mean, his impact. He's a billionaire businessman, so he relates to all the white, NFL owners. So, of course, he's not going to want them to take a stand against the flag because he believes in that, and they believe that, you're spitting on the faces of all the soldiers that fought for the flag, and even though it has nothing to do with the flag, and for them to be American, they forgetting their constitutional rights. So, Mike, how you the president if you don't know our constitutional rights? Because clearly freedom of speech is one of the main things that y'all fight for.
So we talking about the president. He's making commentary about the NFL, sports in general.
He get to speak his mind. But
right.
nobody.
I was just about to say that fuck nigga only think he the only one that can have constitutional rights to say whatever the fuck he want, but when somebody he like an insecure nigga too, bro. Like this nigga feeling to get hurt and then he start really fucking like lashing out at niggas and shit, bro.
Alright, so we got the lashing out at niggas and shit. Levi.
I think it's just divisive. He just it's a distraction more so than anything. Like I want to hear. I don't care one way or another whether he supports some of what the sports media personalities have said or what certain teams are done. I care about what are you doing about the issues, the different laws, birth control, abortion, immigration laws, the economic laws. Like, get back to what's important. I just think this whole sports thing in terms of his political stance, I mean, you got your own personal views, but that it's a distraction from what's important.
Okay, and I understand that, and I can agree with you on that, but why is it feeling like he's focusing on the sports that are predominantly black? The NFL and NBA.
Because it makes the news. It's good for headlines. He's a celebrity. He ain't never been anything in politics. He don't know how to do that. I'm pretty sure he didn't really even want to be the fucking president. He just ran because it would make his celebrity bigger.
Exactly.
He got in the office and was like, fuck, how am I do this shit? And he just gonna do whatever the fuck he want. He an old white nigga. He got them old views. He don't like niggas. Like,
Now I feel
and
you.
he's an asshole. So he just gonna say the shit he feels.
Well, I think I think it goes back to his political agenda. All right, so he had the lowest presidential approval rating 6 months in of any president ever. So how do you fix that? Well, you got to come out with something that's going to get people more on your side. So if you come out with something and a lot of people agree with him, even though I think everybody here doesn't. There's a large percentage that does agree with him and agree with the rhetoric that he spews. With that being said, that's a way for him to get people back on his side and then take the focus off of the issues that traditionally a president is responsible for taking care of.
And what other way to do it in the biggest sport in the nation, which is football? So you got the majority of everybody's attention when you're speaking on something that has to do with the NFL and with protesting.
Well, let's take it back a second. So we talked about the whole question was. So the whole question was, looking back at how does sports and politics coincide? Is that a fact? Is that a falsehood? I think we all agree that that's a fact, correct? It's one and the same, and according to Woods, it's been the same, but Levi, I think you also mentioned that it's now coming to a head. We talked offline. It's coming to a head now because of social media.
Right. I don't think it's one and the same. I just think there's overlap.
Right, but what is overlap? What's the difference between
An
overlap and
overlap.
coincide?
There's still two separate things. Like one and the same is saying basically the same thing. Sports and
No, what I mean by one and the same is one impacts the other. So if someone kneels
You
for the
can't have a
flag,
conversation without mentioning the other.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So if someone kneels, there's going to be a political response. If there's a political response, there may be kneeling. Like that's go ahead.
social injustices and political views could be different. You could be a conservative and still believe that there's social injustices. I don't necessarily think
no.
that.
My specific point was when you talk about kneeling, it's not kept to the fact that it's the ability of the player to play the game. So if we look at Colin Kaepernick, we're not saying he's kneeling and we ignore what he's kneeling about. We just say he sucks as a quarterback and he has no way of having the potential to even be a second string QB on any current NFL team. We're not having that conversation. What we're saying is
But we are having that conversation.
no, what I'm saying is, okay, so let me rephrase that. The NFL is not having that conversation because no one has signed him. No one has picked him up. Even though he's better than almost every second string quarterback by and large from a QBR rating, and he's even better than some first string quarterbacks. So when you look at why he isn't signed, it's a political reason. And if you look at the politics of the government or let's say the head of state,
I don't know if it's more of a political reason as opposed to economic or perceived economic.
Okay, so we can go there. Let me just say this piece. In the same breath, we could also say that the president has taken his time out of referring to the support that he's given to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, to Florida, to Texas, all of these places that have been impacted by hurricanes. Instead, he has gotten up in the morning and made multiple Twitter statements about calling these NFL players, wishing the coaches had the gall to get these sons of bitches off of their team. To me, that speaks volumes to the fact that the political realm and the sports entertainment realm are now intertwined because of who our president is. And you would never see that from President Barack Obama. And I honestly am not a supporter or a detractor from President Clinton, but I don't believe I've ever heard anything like that from him as well, or Bush 1 or Bush 2. So the fact that Donald Trump is representing the head of state, the leader of the free world, but he took the time out to put on a social media platform to say, these sons of bitches, I wish they were fired. Come on, my guy. Like, it's one and the same.
But I think that's reflective of Donald Trump. I don't think that's reflective of the GOP necessarily. Now,
I'm not saying GOP. I said politics. Remember, I said politics. So the first question of the podcast was, are politics and sports coinciding? The answer to me is yes. Because you're seeing commentary on both sides referring to each other. There's a battle going on.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, to me, there's a
Well,
civil
they
discord
will
going on.
always coincide because when
Yeah.
you win a championship, you get invited to the White House. That's been
True,
going
Agreed.
on. It's
true.
been going on for decades.
I just feel
Well,
like social.
typically,
I feel,
typically,
but I
not
feel
That's
no
like
not
more.
typically. That's a fact. Like
Well, the Warriors did not never got an invite.
that's you're still invited. You got the right to not go.
They didn't get
right,
invited.
right. But well, actually,
They
technically, the
were
Warriors
initially.
did. They
Every team
were
was
they were
initially
invited.
invited.
They were. That's a fact. They
Oh,
were invited. Then when Steph Curry said, you know, we're going to put it to a team vote. My vote is I'm not going regardless. And that's when Trump came out and said you're uninvited after he found out
oh,
that he wouldn't come. So again,
got it.
just to close that part of the conversation out, sports and politics, they are now intertwined. There's bleeding of both sides into the other category. And I want to move the conversation forward to kind of talk about what you touched on a little bit, Levi, which is what is the bleeding or what is this overlap that occurs? Why is it that we're hearing the president, again, the leader of the free world, president of the United States of America, waking up to tweet about NFL players protesting in whatever regard and saying that they're XYZ, saying and making demands on what they should and shouldn't be doing, and now you have NFL owners adhering to his command.
I
Jerry
believe.
Jones specifically of the Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Well, I believe in particular that I believe that he's trying to get people on the side in terms of it goes back to this is all for his own benefit. So like I said, he's trying to get people on the side. That's so and he's to me he's really testing the intelligence of the American population. So
But
instead
how
of focus
intelligent were they
By
to vote
doing
for?
what?
But how intelligent
but
were they
all
if
right,
they voted
so
for him though?
all right, so suppose you what you say?
I said
What was that?
how intelligent were they if they voted for him? They're his constituents. They are the people he's trying to adhere to. When he does these rallies where he's saying, I wish I could see some of these coaches just fire these sons of bitches, meaning these
At
sons
a
of the
rally.
women of bitches. Like he said that, and people cheered him, saying, Yay, yay, yes, these sons of bitches need to be fired because they don't respect the flag. That's not what the initial
Sons of
protest was about.
bitches, aka niggas or
Exactly.
niggers.
Speak on it.
That's basically what he's saying. These niggers need to be fired because how many white people you see taking a knee?
A few.
75 to 80% of the league is black. So he's speaking on about black people, black NFL players. So this dude's pretty much saying we're niggers. We need to be fired. And y'all want to take a knee before the national anthem.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. And so
Like,
with Levi, what you were saying, Levi, how do you defend that as far as where do we make the distinction between saying that sports entertainment is just sports versus politics is politics? Because that's what I'm hearing from the president and what I'm hearing from the owners. They're saying, you know what, no matter how you feel socioeconomically, how you feel as far as classism, racial injustice, you stand for the goddamn flag because I said so. I own you. I own you.
that's
I'm
pretty
Jerry
much what it
Jones.
sounds like.
I'm Jerry Jones. You're a Dallas Cowboy. I
And he's
own
from
you.
Texas, and you know how
Stand
they
your
talk
ass
down
up.
there.
Stand your ass up for that flag.
Stand up,
How
boy.
dare you?
I
Stand
don't
up for
think of
that
it like
flag,
that. I think
boy.
that's a bit extreme.
He's extreme in saying it though.
How you
I
gonna
agree
tell
with
me
that
to
too,
stand
but I
up?
also think that I agree with that too, but I think that's a bit of an extreme going the other way. I think it's kind of like a company policy. It's a private entity. They got the right to run their company the way they want to. Now, personally, do I agree with it? No. If I owned the company, would I allow people to kneel? Yes. But can I tell another man how to run his company, his private entity? No, I can't tell him that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can with your dollars. Yes, you can.
Yes. Okay, so then that's true. That's true. But people have not been watching. People have still watching regardless.
No, no, no.
So
When I say with your dollars, I mean like the phrase of just like how Dannon dropped Cam Newton for his comments, they use
yep,
their dollars to make him subside and make him apologize and make him say, you know what, I was a bad boy. I was a bad
that's
Negro.
true.
I have to
But the people
apologize.
but the people are not boycotting the NFL. People still watching. Not enough people to make the NFL change their stance or rethink their stance.
The ratings are going down.
Yeah,
Yes, they are.
Not enough to affect anything.
They are, though, because even Trump, and this is the thing, Levi, what I want to say is, even Trump tried to manipulate those statistics. He said that the NFL numbers are suffering because people are kneeling, because players are kneeling, because people are adhering to the disrespect of the nation. However, the truth may be that viewership is decreasing because people are saying we stand with Cap, or viewership is decreasing because they decided that we don't support this entertainment industry that is kowtowing to a person in a political position who is abusing his power. He's not acknowledging that. He's manipulating at every stage. Trump has manipulated the truth. The truth is, Colin Kaepernick sat down for the flag. He spoke to a Navy veteran. The Navy veteran told him, you know what would be more respectful if you took a knee. He took a knee. Trump took that and said, you know what? Taking a knee is disgracing the flag, disgracing the Pledge of Allegiance, and disgracing our veterans. He flipped it and made his constituency be the mob warfare against those who believe in the inequality in our country. He's wickedly brilliant.
They're not focusing on the inequalities of the country. That's what I mean by he's testing the intelligence of the American population. He's taking this, and we're sitting here talking about a stupid ass flag that, and I'm not saying the flag is a symbol.
Right. Look at you. Even you just backpedaled and said it was a stupid ass flag, and it said
it's a symbol. It's a symbol of America. You're supposed to take pride in this symbol. I hear you. I hear you on that. But
no, don't hear me on that. I'm not saying
no.
That.
Okay, so it's like saying the ring. All right, so it's like if you marry, you're supposed to take pride in the ring, but you don't honor the ring over the goddamn marriage.
So, do you honor the flag or
you
the
honor what the flag stands for? You honor freedom.
Hold on, Levi. One thing. Let's ask this question real quick. Go ahead.
I said, what you supposed to? Is it the flag or the Constitution?
No, you're supposed to honor what
that you're supposed to honor.
The Constitution. No, you honor what the flag stands for. The flag should stand for the land of the free. Social. It should stand for equal for all men. All men should have equal rights.
There wouldn't be a president without a Constitution.
Yeah, and Levi, unfortunately, one thing that you kind of just gave away about your argument, you said what the flag should stand for. That implies that you know it doesn't represent that right now.
That does, and I do know that. That's why I'm not against them kneeling. I'm just saying that I can't tell another man that owns a business, a private entity, how to run his business as long as it's not illegal.
But it is illegal if it's unconstitutional.
It's not. Constitutional rights do not apply to private entities. It don't. It's written. It said. I did research on this. I've spoken with lawyers. Seriously.
We listening. We're not arguing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it does not apply to private entities. For example, if we all in some way, shape, or form either have, currently are, or have worked under somebody as an employee of someone, right? So we can't go on our personal private social media page and bash said employer while we're being employed by them. If it doesn't get back to them, we good. But if it does get back to them, they can then punish us for that.
So how is kneeling bashing the organization?
That company, well, back to the kneeling thing, that goes back to that company believes that you should stand for the flag. That's what that company believes. So while you're accepting paycheck from that particular entity, you have to abide by their rules. Not saying that you agree with it. I'm not saying that you like it. I'm just saying that if you don't like it, then you need to find a new employer or you need to open your own business.
Okay, let me let Woods back in on this. Woods, what you think about what you just heard? Levi's basically saying if you work for a corporate entity, you are a slave to what they impose upon you.
I did not say that.
No. I'm summarizing. What you said was
what he said. I heard what he said. He said it because they're private. they don't gotta listen to
apply.
constitutional
No.
rights.
Right, but they still
But
own
here's
it.
the thing. What I'm gonna get to it, man. Here's the thing. 70% of the people that Donald Trump attacks is the minority base of the NFL. If the owners can't do shit, if all of them niggas get on one accord, they have the power. They're the talent. Like Donald Trump wants these niggas to act like slave masters and keep their niggas in check. That's all that they're doing.
Yep.
So that's what ESPN is doing when they suspended Jemele, because she said one simple thing, which is the truth.
Right. And don't get on that yet. Focus on the
Okay,
players right
so
now. 'Cause we're
all
gonna
right,
get to that.
so pretty much because Cap was the only nigga they could, he pretty much was the one that get whitewashed or whiteballed, because he was the only one. If it was more niggas doing it with him, he probably wouldn't be in his situation right now. And the shit with all of them kneeling at the same time was all staged bullshit.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, it's whiteboard.
He's saying whiteball because the opposite
we not
of blackball.
about to say it's blackball, because
Right.
ain't no black people having no issue with what he's doing.
I get what he's saying. He's saying in essence that if you're whiteball, it's like the inverse. Being the case of Colin Kaepernick, he was quote unquote whiteball because there was a conglomerate of white people, the white owners of the individual teams, who decided for whatever reason he just wasn't good enough, or AKA they weren't ready to accept what he brings to the table as far as dealing with that controversy.
And listen, it's no black owners in fucking NFL. So this shit is looking real slavish, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. They ain't trying to let niggas in.
Yeah, the owners vote on stuff like that, so they can.
Yeah, the owners, bro. They so fucking, they so dirty. Like
they tried to buy a team though.
Diddy just said, give him a team right now.
Who?
Diddy.
Oh, well, yeah.
You think Diddy and Jay-Z can't come together and buy a team?
They can.
Will they?
They probably want to buy the New York Giants or the Jets. Who knows?
They can't buy the Jets. Now, hold on. As a little bit of research to support what Woods is saying, Levi, I'm gonna say this. I did look it up. You can't really just come to the table with money and buy a team. Like,
it's a voting process.
Yeah, they have to allow you to come into that inner circle.
So what you think? What you think the white people gonna do? They gonna insulate their shit. They ain't letting no niggas in.
I watched Ballers and they're rocking them. They came with their team. They went to the
they were trying to go to
NFL
Vegas.
Committee.
Right, they were trying to go to Vegas. They were trying to go to Vegas.
Yeah, they went to the NFL committee, and they could pretty much yes or no you. It don't matter how much money you got.
And they brought all the money. And I'm not trying to equate real life to entertainment, but entertainment and art does imitate life. So to Smith's point, in the show,
Ballers showed their process.
Right, they brought the money together. They brought the real estate. They brought everything they could, but it was still up to the other owners to decide whether they would accept or deny that acceptance or that application to join that conglomerate of being an NFL owner. So, yeah, Diddy and Jay-Z, yeah, they got the money, cool, but are they going to be allowed into that upper echelon? No.
More than likely they're not. And here's another thing what I don't get about these fucking players, bro. It's pretty much the owners. First off, the president hold all of y'all. So, for one, y'all should be trying to get this shit to change. Even get the president to change his tune. Because if they show their unity, they can show the power too. Because if 70% of that NFL leave, nobody's watching it. I can guarantee that shit. And them niggas can go anywhere. They can go to another football league and change that league immediately.
Agreed, but they
CFL
won't.
or whatever.
Or start their own. I agree with that.
Or start their own.
But nobody talking about taking that L. If everybody got together and collectively did that, you got a point. But why? And then back to your point about the owners. So instead of Jay-Z and Diddy, one, they would probably be not trying to, they would be the brokest owners because most of those owners are multi-billionaires, and combined Jay-Z and Diddy barely passing, they probably not at $2 billion. But secondly, why?
Not all of them are
Well, it ain't about how much they got. They have invested.
And they don't. And if you look at the history on how much they bought these teams for, the only team that's really worth billions is Dallas and Robert Kraft's team.
Yeah, I got you, New England Patriots. And then to my second point though, why are y'all getting together? If somebody's trying to exclude you out, well, you can kind of do the same thing to them. You can start your own league, kind of like Ice Cube did with the Big Three, and then come together with yours. Yes, it probably won't be as much money because you ain't got as much money as them. But that's if you really want to, you start your own instead of.
You want to know why you want to know why you go against the people that got the league? Because it's ran mostly by us. All of the great players is us.
Right.
Other than some of the quarterbacks, and that's like far few in between. And the offensive line niggas, they be white niggas, okay? But all of the talent, running backs, quarterbacks, corners, all that shit is us. We leave, they're done. I don't give a fuck how much money they got. They can't replace 70% of the fucking talent.
Most of them players, but the average player not going to take that L because the average career is only 3 years long, and they ain't made that much money. The average person, the average NFL player ain't got like money in the bank to be taking L's like that.
But Levi, and this is my point when we talked offline, which I want to bring to the table, just to
they got to be willing to sacrifice
exactly. And Woods, you said it before I could, Levi. That was the whole point that I was making when we talked offline about this. Is somebody has to be willing to take the sacrifice, and I feel like as black people, we continue to shirk and blame. Let's put the onus on someone else. It can't be me. I can't lose my money, and someone else can.
Levi, you better believe this. If they all went together and stopped playing, like say they all just stopped, right? You think that's gonna make it's gonna be like a strike. It's gonna be like a strike. It ain't gonna be no shit like the NFL is over. They're gonna be like, oh, these niggas are serious. We gotta quit playing. Let them protest how they want to do it.
Exactly.
And they're gonna, what's gonna happen is their union is gonna get stronger for one because they seeing that these players ain't having that shit. When they go into these union agreements, bro, they give so much power to Roger Goodell, bro. Like this nigga can do anything, and they can't ridiculous. Stop it.
I agree with you on that. However, if you 21, you like a young Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp went to college with three T-shirts and 2 pair of jeans. Mm-hmm. So he come from nothing. Now you on the verge of signing a contract for $500,000. You supposed to, your grandma been working all her life, your mama been working, and you gonna sit there and tell them, no, we gonna sit out. Like those are now. If everybody does get together and do that, I agree it's gonna make a difference. But the owners can hold them out so long to where their career could end, because the owners, regardless, they got money elsewhere. The players don't have money elsewhere. This is their one source of income. So the owners are always going to have it.
Bro. Players got more than one income. They got endorsements.
Hold on. Let me let Smith say something. Go ahead, Smith.
Well, first off, the NFL owners get paid by the people that sponsor the NFL, and they got the TV deals. So it's not the money from the actual owner that's paying them. They're getting money off these deals. And with the deals, that's how they're able to pay the players.
Right.
So they can't. If they stop the sponsorships, then you stop the money from the owners.
But like for example, Robert Kraft is an owner. Well, if the Patriots stop making money, guess what else he got? He got Kraft cheese. I think he's gonna be all right.
We're not talking about his money.
See, but the thing is, the bottom line, they're not even really using that NFL money like that. If they're all billionaires, they're billionaires from something else. It ain't from the NFL.
So you always going to lose leverage when you don't have the economic power in the situation.
No, but that's like their child, though. They bought that shit because they love football. And they want to see the sport, and they want their team to be good. So what else? But if niggas stop playing, they're going to do whatever those players want to do.
They're not going to let the asylum.
So let's
clearly, if that was the case, the players would be getting guaranteed contracts. They ain't even got a fucking guaranteed contract. They can go out there, hurt their knee.
That starts
If
with
you
the
my
union.
backup, you can.
That starts
Right,
with the
and-
union.
Hey, listen.
Hold on.
That
one second,
starts like Smith is saying, it's the union, and those players got to fight for that shit. Say we ain't playing,
Right.
bitch. I guarantee the fucking owners will be like, oh, these niggas ain't fucking playing. They want guaranteed contracts.
They all got to get on one accord with that. Now, if
my
they
thing
do,
but my thing is, Levi, I think what you're saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yep.
what I'm hearing from Woods and what I'm hearing from Smith is, which I agree with, is yes, everybody has to pick a side, make a stand. What you're saying is they have to do it all at the same time, and that's
Yes.
not going to happen.
then it's not going to get done.
Yes, it is, because Colin Kaepernick
All
did
it needs to be is a majority.
Oh, yes,
See,
it's a majority.
niggas like
The
Des
vast
Bryant,
majority,
we don't need niggas like that around us.
I agree with you on that. It don't have to be every single person. If it is a majority, that will get done. Majority of people not going to take the L's. I'm not saying if they did, it would get done. But I'm just saying they not doing it.
But what I hear from you, though, is if everyone else is not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And that's the problem. Because if Colin Kaepernick...
let me tell you,
Hold on.
30% of the players...
Hold on. If Colin Kaepernick had that same mentality, he would have made sure he had at least a handful of people that were willing to take a knee with him. But he
should have done.
No, that's not...
No,
we wouldn't be talking about it right now if he would have did that. We still talking about it because he did it by himself.
We shouldn't be talking about it. We should actually be doing something to fix the social justices. We shouldn't be talking about a fucking knee. Who cares?
Levi, we can't change that.
Listen, you want to know why the knee is so important? Because they're the people with the bigger platform. They're talking for the small guy. We don't have power like them. So if they do it, then motherfuckers look and be like, oh shit, these rich black people got power and they're trying to fucking stick up for the regular everyday person. Then they can influence even rich white people and average everyday white people who watch the NFL, because I guarantee you this, if they stop playing, white people watch the NFL probably more than niggas do. And if it's over because the black players don't want to play, it ain't gonna just be it ain't gonna just change the mind of the owners. It's gonna change the mind of the viewer too.
I agree with you. You gotta go. I'm with you on that. But what you're saying requires more than one person.
But it has to start.
I guarantee you, bro, because of what Trump just did, I guarantee you, out of that 70%, at least 35% of them niggas ain't for it. And if 35% leave, and it's like some marquee niggas, it's still a dent to the NFL, and they can't play their game.
Hold on.
Richard Sherman's still suiting up every Sunday.
Hold on. Let's take it a step back. Let's look at it from a reality perspective. All right, Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, right? He has. You can name on your hand the top 5 players. I'm gonna let Smith, who's an NFL expert, go. So what we got? Dak. We got Zeke. Who else we got?
He ain't got no top 5 players.
No, come on.
Bryant.
We got Dez. Okay, so top 3. If Dez, Zeke, and Dak took a knee, would Jerry Jones bench them? Yes or no?
No.
He gonna bench the hell out of them. He gonna bench the hell out of them.
Hold on, I'm hearing the discrepancy. So Smith, you said no. Why, Smith?
Hell no. Them his workhorses. He not doing that.
Because he don't want to lose.
Shit, they fall.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you why they gonna bench him. Zeke ain't been shit all year. They've been loading up every time they play that nigga.
Hold on. Let me let
charges.
Smith, why do you think that they will not bench them?
Because they fought for him for this 6-game suspension, and they knew his whole situation with the sexual harassment, with lifting the girl top off. Like, the dude had his back-to-back issues with women and
what did Jerry
domestic
Jones do?
violence.
He fought for that.
They backed him up.
Right, he fought for them.
Jerry Jones have a history of backing up people that's in the wrong. He had the Greg Hardy dude that had all the guns and threw his chick on the bed. He beat her up. Like he goes for his workhorses.
So Jerry
Like he
Jones has
don't
a
care.
history of showing that Jerry Jones is out for the benefit of Jerry Jones. Point blank,
Exactly.
period.
But
So
in that, he's backing up black players.
He's backing
Yeah,
up his
okay,
money.
but see, this is a whole nother thing though. Like, see, he's not interested in the majority of black people. He's interested in taking care of his players so his money ain't fucking up and he has
So
a
he
chance
can
at
win.
winning.
So
Right,
why
so
would
he can
he
win.
bench them then if you just said
Because if
that?
they say some shit that don't have that is not along the lines of football, like, look, man, we taking his knee for injustices with people of color, he gonna look at them motherfuckers like, y'all ain't about to. He already came out and somebody asked him this same question. He said, yeah, they'll get benched. Anybody that don't stand for the flag is getting benched. That's what he said because he cares about Dallas Cowboys
Well,
first,
I gotta
NFL second.
call his bluff on that one. Gotta call his bluff on that one. That's like saying Adam Silver gonna suspend Kevin Durant and all the Golden State Warriors starters.
Well, they can because
It's
that's
not
actually
gonna
in
happen.
there, but that's in their legislation.
And
when you
here's
say,
why.
hold on. When you say
You know how much
legislation,
money
you mean
lose
it's
for
in their
that?
it's in
Not
their code of
happening.
conduct. So I looked
It's
it
in the
up.
NBA Code of
Yeah,
Conduct.
it's in their
I know
rules.
it is.
Yeah, it's in the rule book, whatever
But
they
it's an
call it.
exception for every player.
But the difference is with
Okay.
Adam Silver, though, he's going to let them do anything they want to do to handle injustices in the black community or whatever community.
I disagree.
Wait a minute.
Adam Silver
Who's
made
stopping?
he made it blatantly clear. He said any player who does not stand for and respect the flag, and that's what I hate. I hate the term that they coincide. Standing for and respecting the flag as one and the same. If
But
Colin Kaepernick spoke to a retired Navy veteran and the veteran told him kneeling for the flag is a respectful way to protest, and then Adam Silver comes out and says that's disrespectful, we're all going to stand for it or you will be fined, that is a complete contradiction to what the veteran who committed his life to defend this fucking country is
but
saying.
what Adam Silver said weeks prior to them saying that they have to stand for the anthem, he said that he said NBA players, if they feel like any injustice is going on, they can be a part of it or wear a shirt or do anything that show.
Listen to what you just said. They can. He's telling them what they can do. That's the problem I have, and I'm not going
But
to.
but he's saying the NBA would support it too. It's not
support
like
it. No, he said that he would fine them. That's what he said.
no. He's going to fine them for not standing for the national anthem, not because what they're protesting.
But it's one and the
He
same.
don't want none of that happening during the anthem. But if they come out like the I Cannot Breathe shirts when LeBron and them was wearing it, when they was wearing hoods when Trayvon got killed, when they was doing all of that, that's all fine, and the NBA is going to back them when they do shit like that.
Okay,
but they just don't want the anthem protest.
Say it again, Levi. Go ahead.
When has they?
The NFL wouldn't.
When have
They ain't
they?
doing that. They wanna. They not doing none of that. They not doing none of this shit that you listing. They sitting there kneeling for a flag. And I'm not saying that the kneel is wrong. I'm not trying to say that they don't have the quote unquote right to kneel. I'm just saying if and they actually do because the NFL did not prohibit it like the NBA did. But they didn't say they wouldn't support the initiative towards social justice. I'm just saying none of this gets the bar moving on actual social to see laws change. I want to see lawyers like different, like George Zimmerman need to have his ass behind bars.
But that's and like I said offline, that's a stretch goal. We're not
God dealing with George Zimmerman. He fucked
I agree.
up.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying right now is kneeling for the flag is not going to make George Zimmerman get arrested. Kneeling for the flag is not going to put any person of racial injustice in bars or to death or whatever justice we feel they deserve. Kneeling for the flag, in Colin Kaepernick's own words, was just his disinterest in showing allegiance to a flag that does not represent what it said it's supposed to.
Right, and all he wanted to do was bring attention to the social justices
which
in
he
America.
did, and we would not be
Which he
talking
did.
about
and
it.
it's been lost. The whole.
Say
But
that,
yeah,
say
that's
that.
because
Hold
you
on,
and
Smith. Go ahead.
And that's
Go
what I
ahead.
was just gonna say next. You want to know why it seemed like it's
Hold
not
on.
working?
Let me
It's
let
because
Smith
they
jump.
keep switching the narrative.
Hold on. Let me let Smith go. Go ahead, Smith.
Now they're taking the knee before the national anthem, which makes no sense. Are you taking
Only
the
Dallas
knee?
did that though.
Are you taking the knee before the? Are you taking the knee because of what Donald Trump said, or are you taking the knee for the injustices? Like it's a very
To me, them
gray
taking a
line.
knee.
It's like it's not understood. They're not. They're saying they're
that-
in unity.
I'm gonna let, and
That
I'm gonna
last
let you.
week-
Hold on.
That last
Hold on,
week
hold on.
was just to smack Donald Trump in the face because what Donald Trump did, he tried to demand the owners to make a move if they do kneel. And a billionaire can't bully other billionaires. They was like, who the fuck is this nigga? I know
That's
he our
true.
friend and
That's
all, but
true.
nigga, you
But I
can't
will
tell us
also-
what to do.
I will also say the fact is it's the same thing as Ray Lewis taking 2 knees, and when he said, "I'm taking 2 knees, I'm not kneeling, I'm praying." That's the same thing. You're trying to appease both sides. You're
Saw
trying
my
to say,
lips moving.
right, like to me, you're trying to appease both
man.
sides. But with that being said, and I think we
We
all
Ray
have.
Lewis a fuck nigga. That's what he
And-
is.
He is. That's all
Say
he
it.
is.
Say it. Get that
he
shit
do
out.
whatever
Wait
the
a
boss
minute.
man.
Levi got an opinion. What up, Levi?
Oh, come on.
He not a
Whatever
fuck
boss
nigga.
man
Like, you got
say,
to-
he gonna rock with it.
Wait, Ray Lewis can't pray.
He ain't never
No,
prayed
it's
for no
because this nigga said he'll never take a knee
He did
during the
He did.
anthem.
He said
Oh,
that
you
on.
back-
He said that on
Great, and he
Undisputed.
got that right. If
got
he's
the
sitting
right,
there in
he did it
Baltimore and
before.
donating money and actually fighting for social justices on behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, then that's more than taking the knee. I'll take that. I want you actually doing.
listen,
Hold on.
listen.
Woods. Give me 1 second. And Smith, give me 1 second. Levi, you were the first person on this podcast tonight that said, "What the fuck is the action to your response?" What did Ray Lewis equate to him taking them 2 bold ass knees and praying instead of
What are
saying?
you praying for?
Exactly. So my thing is, Levi, my question to you right now is, what the fuck was he trying to prove by praying amongst brethren who are taking a knee for the injustices in his country? That is bullshit. That is a bullshit ass phrase that he's
Hey, look.
using.
They wasn't even taking a knee for the injustices. They were taking a knee for the
That was
sons
the
of
knee for
bitch
Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was a knee for Donald Trump. It wasn't. See, this is
that's
what
even
they
better.
keep
So
doing, bro.
that's even
they
better. So
keep
hold on.
switching the narrative on what the original protest was
Okay,
about.
so
And
so
that's what
cool.
Ray was playing about, that we get
that's
back
cool.
to the narrative.
So let me ask Levi, since Levi was defending Ray, he was defending him. So for people who call Ray a coon
No,
and all type of other shit, Levi, why
Yep.
do you defend Ray Lewis for him taking a coonish
No,
knee?
let me be very clear. I wouldn't have did what Ray Lewis did. That
Was
ain't
he
the
a
way I
coon
would have
for it?
handled it.
Was he a coon for it?
No.
Yes, he
The only
was.
coon is Jason Whitlock.
Hey, listen.
That's the only coon.
What they
Ray
I asked you one question.
what
I
they
said,
call him?
was he a coon?
He's a opportunist. That's what they
No.
call him. Opportunist.
No.
Any fucking
so Ray Lewis
opportunity
did all
he
this
got to
stuff,
coon,
man.
he gonna take
Okay,
that
we
shit.
can't hear each other.
So
Hold on.
let me get this straight.
Yeah,
let me get this straight.
Hold on, I'm gonna
So
let
Ray
Levi get
Lewis,
this. Hold on, Levi, I'm gonna give you a platform. Hold on. I want to make sure we all are heard. So, Levi, go ahead. Say what you got to say about the opportunities,
Okay.
and then we're gonna move on to the last topic.
oh, here we go. So Ray Lewis, let me get this straight. Ray Lewis he did all this stuff for the people of Baltimore. Don't donate it time, don't donate it money, don't help with the kids in school, don't fight on behalf of social justices for the people in the city of Baltimore, and countless other things throughout a period of 13 to 15 years, however long, for over a decade. But he's a coon because he took 2 knees. All of that because
No, not just because of
that's
2
right
knees,
now.
bro. Like, come on, man. You know what? Listen, Jim Brown used to be a stand-up nigga at one point too. He's a coon now.
Oh yeah,
So
they all
what
conform.
does
They
that
all
mean?
Conform.
I care what you do for black people. I don't care about how you express, whether you pray or
It's the
put one
same
hand.
No.
That was on
Just
Your
trial.
view-
Attempted
you're
murder
a coon.
charge.
You're a coon based on your views on black people of what you say right now. If I don't give a fuck if Ray Lewis gave $100 million to black people, and if he came out and said some fuck shit about black people, bro, he's a coon. I don't give a fuck how much money he gave. what shit he did.
He never said nothing.
Hold on.
Hold on. You've been talking a lot.
Yeah, let Smith speak. Go ahead. Let my co-host
Now,
speak.
this goes with back to the Ray Lewis giving back to the community. A few weeks ago, the owner for the Detroit Lions, whatever her name is, Miss Ford, she tried to donate money so they wouldn't protest.
Yep.
So she tried to shy away so they wouldn't have no backlash.
That's what I would want. That's what I would be asking for.
You can't pay for that.
I would be asking you to donate money to send some black lawyers through law school so that we can fix the system.
No,
listen.
Levi, you also missing the point that the solidarity of black people taking this knee also can give the youth and the other black people that's watching it like, damn, if these niggas can band together and change some shit in the NFL, what if we do that out here in these streets for real?
Exactly.
When has black people ever come together?
Time out.
So it's not.
Time out, Levi. Hold on 1 second. For what D.Woods said, I want to bring this shit and reel it back in. We're all very emotional and passionate. What I want to reiterate to you in a different tone from what D.Woods said is, this is the same conversation we had offline. He is explaining to you, I don't care what you do financially. What are you doing through your actions? Through your actions.
Oh, his actions. Yes, and his actions, he was in the soup kitchens. He's been in the community. This ain't him just writing a fucking check and not showing up.
So then why did he say I would never take a knee?
Because that's the stance on taking a fucking knee. That ain't got nothing to do with helping black.
No, Levi, you're doing what they do. You're not listening to what the knee is for. When Colin did it, they asked him. He straight told them a straight answer. And all of a sudden, everything is getting switched up. Now the knee is for Trump. Now the knee is disrespecting the flag. Now the knee is this. He straight up said, I'm taking this knee because I'm not going to pledge allegiance to a flag that socially
doesn't represent what our fight is for. That doesn't
bring that and make the correlation between that and Ray Lewis again.
Ray Lewis said on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp, he said, I will never take a knee because I believe in the flag and I believe in what this country stands for. I believe in respect for our veterans. He said every single talking point that Donald Trump gave him.
Donald Trump didn't give him that.
First of all, he a coon one meeting with Trump. Like that was first one. Then
you can't never talk to him. How you gonna change something?
You can change something by going through your civil rights leader and then have them talk to that fuck nigga, or make him talk to you on your stage. This nigga had them meet up in the lobby of the Trump Hotel. Didn't even go to the White House. That's disrespect right there.
Okay, like was let me let Smith in. Go ahead, Smith.
So this goes back to Ray Lewis and what he was saying about the quarterback opening when Flacco was injured. He said they have to talk to the fans and get their opinion on how would they feel about signing him or bringing him to the camp. But you had Dante Stallworth that killed somebody by drunk driving, and then your ass got the attempted murder. You was on trial for that, but they didn't ask the fans about that shit. But y'all asked about somebody that took a knee for people that getting shot by the police.
And Levi, don't be fooled by the shit he doing. He did have that attempted murder shit, so he had to make himself look like a good dude. So what's the best way to do it? Charity. You gotta go out and be with the people. He had to clean up his image. So everything the nigga do charitable doesn't mean that's in their heart.
Hold on, Levi, go ahead. I want to let Levi respond. Go ahead.
Yeah, he wasn't doing the charitable efforts with the people that power. The community in the hood of Baltimore don't have any economic power. So that doesn't coincide. It's not like he's out there trying to make communities better that don't really need, that's already middle class or already well off. He's not donating to their political cause.
Okay, since Ray is such a figurehead since he's such a figurehead in Baltimore, what the fuck did Ray do for Freddie Gray? What did he do to change anything in Baltimore? Because they still got police brutality issues. He didn't do a fucking thing. You want to know why? Because he rather support the police in the American flag versus his fucking people, and that's the coonery that we're talking about.
He was trying to support his people. He did speak out against. He did reach out against those. He volunteered in the community, talking with the leaders in the community. That's all the man can do. He can't go and change all the shit. He can't stop it from happening.
So Levi, in your own words, though, in your own words, Levi, if all he did was reach out and speak out, and you said he still couldn't change it.
And he volunteered time and money.
So what's the point in anybody trying, though? You just said he can't change it. That's what's
going to eventually make a difference if you get enough people doing that. He's done everything you can ask. Now, just because I'm not erasing I'm looking at your track history from whenever you became in the public eye or even before then to now, your whole track history. Did I like the two knees? No. Would I have done it? No. But I ain't going because you do one thing I don't like, that don't erase 15 years of history.
And I agree.
Shannon Sharp said he didn't like it, but that's his brother.
I agree with that. I agree with you, Levi.
That's the difference. That's the difference. That don't mean he isn't a coon.
No, hold on. Let's take a step back. One more second.
No,
Levi made a good point. Now, Darren or Woods, you said, that doesn't make him a coon. I want to hear from Smith
one more time. Versus somebody like Jason Whitlock, he has a whole history of cooning. So I look at his history. Every action been coonish. Every action been against black people for the most part. I mean
it's levels to coonery though.
We're not just every time you do one thing, you a coon because you said one thing against black people. In that case, you can call each one of us a coon. At some point we've disagreed with the quote unquote black agenda.
Well, shit. Let's go ahead and hold on.
No. Never heard that shit.
Hold on. No. Woods. I know a lot of niggas that said you was a coon. So from that point, we gonna.
You a goddamn lie.
I just want to bring some levity to conversation. So the last point I have before I let everybody go, I just want to bring some levity to this. The last point of this conversation is Jemele Hill. So myself and my bro Levi, we have a very distinctive separation of how we feel about how she's been treated by ESPN. I would tell you first and foremost, as the host of the show, Jemele Hill has been treated as a second-class citizen. She gave her opinion on her personal social media page, and twice now she has been reprimanded. The second time is a suspension that could potentially impact her bread and her reputation. Do you agree or disagree with the treatment of Jemele Hill?
Of course I disagree. She ain't do nothing but state facts.
And let's keep it tight. Let's keep it tight because we're running out of time.
I'm gonna try, man. But the spirit about to take over. Bro, she ain't say nothing but facts, bro. The reason why she's getting like
blackball, whiteball,
ridicule for it is because most of the nation agrees with Trump. We gotta remember we're only 13%, and even maybe 3% of us will agree with Trump, and then white people, whether we like it or not, bro, or they like it or not, most of them side with Trump. They obviously showed it by how he got elected. Mostly white men, especially coming from a black woman. They ain't having that shit. ESPN leaders is the leaders of the CEO of Walt Disney. He's probably a friend of Trump. So they looked at it, and they're probably friends with NFL execs and all that shit. So her rhetoric was kind of stating like, yo, if you're in favor of what the black guys are doing, and then Miami and Dallas is saying it's mandatory, they're making rules without even having a union present and negotiating it. She said, well, then you should boycott the fucking advertisement of the NFL.
She didn't say that.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't. She said that there's an unfair amount of blame placed on the players and the management. She said you also have to look at the advertisers as well, therefore shining light on the advertisers. I thought she said boycott too, but then I went back and reviewed the tweets and whatever, and she didn't say that.
One of her tweets had boycott in it, but she wasn't saying to boycott it.
I'm not boycotting.
Yeah, right. But see, this is the problem. They're not taking the second tweet. They went. This is the reason she got suspended, because they think she's advocating boycotting the NFL and the advertisers. They didn't look at her second tweet, because if they did, they would understand that she ain't even saying to do that. But because people of color are on the side of the players that is taking this knee, she's saying that could happen. But now
she gets suspended for what she said about Donald Trump. They think they slick.
That could be it too. But here's the real thing about ESPN.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Smith.
This is pretty much, just how like OJ got 9 years for stealing his own stuff because he got off for killing his wife. Like, it's just pretty much the same thing. It's like, we didn't get you the first time, we're going to get you this time for it. But you did enough so we can justify it this time.
So you feel like it's almost retrospective punishment.
Retrospective punishment, exactly.
That you have some validity to that. It's both. It's the second. They said it when they suspended her. It's the second violation of the social media policy of ESPN.
They didn't.
An employee of ESPN.
They didn't go in detail of what that.
They didn't show the rule.
That's true. They didn't show the rule. Go ahead. Go ahead, Woods.
Okay.
Explain the rules.
No, what I was going to say, though, about ESPN is it seems like they want black people they want black faces on ESPN, but they don't want the black thought. They just want you to be on there, show your face, show that they got some flavor on the network, but they don't want you niggas to say what y'all really want to say.
I agree.
So what they're doing by suspending her is saying, bitch, shut your black ass up. This is what can happen.
Levi?
That's a vulgarity.
Well, I was saying Levi because he said a bitch, and I knew Levi was that. So go ahead, Levi.
Oh, wow.
No, when I said bitch on many occasions, it wasn't to anybody.
I'm jabbing that nigga. Go ahead, Levi.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, no, I'm saying I agree that she was spitting facts. It was all raw. It was, and you got some very good points, Woods, that they don't really want to hear what she really want to think. However, they cut her. They don't want to hear what she really want to think if what she really thinks costs them money.
Explain how they cost them money.
Okay, now you're shining. Hold on. Let me explain.
Hold on. Smith said something. Hold on. Go ahead.
You asked me what?
They are partners with the NFL. They have a deal. They just signed a new contract with the Monday Night Football.
Yep.
So they like, hold on, now you can't be talking about our partners like that.
Right.
So now we have to take a stand.
Right, and she didn't necessarily say because she's bringing light onto the advertisers. The advertisers is AKA the money. You don't never want to do nothing to put any sort of negative light on somebody that you're business partners with. And Jemele Hill is accepting money from ESPN. She's the beneficiary of their financial relationship.
Right.
Because that gets her paid. She just got a new deal last year. She just got the big contract. She just now got on prime time 6 months ago. Or a little bit more than that. But still. So she's the beneficiary of that. So she's really, that actually indirectly impacts her because if she's going to spit negative, even if the negative is facts. I'm not saying it's not facts. I'm just saying that if you can't do that and accept the paycheck from ESPN.
But what if it's opinion?
Let me
what if
tell you why.
I'm gonna let you go.
I'm not having.
Go ahead, Levi. Go ahead.
If you own the business, you ain't having your employee and you hire people. The employees not, and you in partners with different businesses and things like that. You're not having your employees speak ill of your business partners. It's not gonna happen. It's not, if y'all ran a company, it's not happening that way. It's not going down like that. You ain't fucking up my money.
If it's morally right, then you change as a company.
It's morally right, you better say it off wax.
No, it ain't off wax.
No, see, now you're trying to run shit with an iron fist like this isn't America. We have constitutional rights, and to me, her ass should sue ESPN.
Let them know, Woods. Go ahead.
No.
This ain't motherfucking North Korea. One nigga's words ain't power for everything, bro.
If you in business to make money.
Yeah, and if you in business, you still have constitutional rights, my nigga. Like,
You
I don't
have
no, you think listen.
You don't. No, you don't. Not it.
Let
No,
me
you don't.
let me explain.
It does not apply to private entities. If you want to speak your own shit and do like
ESPN ain't no goddamn private entity.
It is. It's owned by Disney. Disney is a private company. It's not the fucking government. It's
So
not.
every fucking company is private. That's not government.
It is.
Then.
That's why they have a fucking social media policy. You can't
Hell
go on.
no.
Work for, all right.
This is how I know this is not true, bro. Because
Can't go online on Facebook or wherever and then bash the company that you currently work for or their partners, and then that gets to the CEO, and the CEO don't pull you in the office and say, Woods, let me holler at you for a minute, dog. And your ass gonna be walking out the door. If you don't like it, you go. Now, if she don't like it, she can go start her own company. I would be in support of that. That's what Boris Watkins said. That's why you don't work for the quote-unquote white man. If you want to do your own voice, I agree with what she's saying. I'm just saying that they got the right to say you can't say that shit on my network because it affects my bread. I get that too.
Their
If I'm
network, though, she was on her personal social media platform. It's her Twitter.
You're not going to be my employee. Go home on Facebook and bash me and take my paycheck. Fuck
she
you.
She didn't bash them,
she didn't bash ESPN.
Exactly.
She bashed their business partner.
No, she didn't. She said
she didn't even bash them.
Hold on.
She stated because of what Miami and Dallas did, it can cause boycott from viewership because they are trying to make black athletes stand for the fucking anthem and pretty much taking away their constitutional right to protest.
Yes. She was saying the players shouldn't get all the blame. I agree with that. She was saying you can look at the sponsors. I agree with that. But do I also agree with ESPN has the right to discipline her because that shines a negative light on the sponsor? Yes, because they own the company.
Sponsor, you don't work for the sponsor though.
She doesn't. Hey,
listen. Greg Mathis said she can sue them. He's a judge. He knows the law.
I listened to that today.
Yeah, she can sue them.
He did say she could
and he said she has a good chance at winning.
Yep.
She has a chance at winning, but she also got a chance at losing.
No, Levi. I'm telling you this, honest to God. Judge Greg Mathis said she should sue them. Like, that's against her constitutional amendment.
I don't give a fuck if it's private or not, bro. You can't go against the Constitution at all.
Company, it does not apply. Those rules. You can't go. All right, you can't. You can't just be sitting there. Okay, so in that case,
hold on. Let me, Smith, say what you were saying. Hold on.
So how can a judge that got 20 plus years serving and giving out orders, I'm pretty sure he dealt with this before, he wouldn't say she should do something if you don't think she can get a good judgment off of it?
She can, but that ain't guaranteed. She got the right.
How's not guaranteed? He wouldn't say it then.
He's not going to say it. That's his opinion.
He's a judge,
but that's his expert opinion.
That's a civil case, bro, and it won't be in no Supreme Court either.
Hold on, there's other lawyers on wax saying that she does not have the right to do that as because it's a private entity. It depends on where you fall, where your political views or where your social, how you view the situation.
You just said a lawyer. Who's a
real shit? I'm about to read this goddamn tweet off to you because I don't even hear no.
He just said a lawyer said something. Who's above a lawyer? A judge.
Okay.
So what they say doesn't hold anything.
Right. So Judge Greg Mathis is saying.
I mean, a judge is a lawyer, though. If you wouldn't be honest.
No, but I'm saying a judge.
Hierarchy over
right.
Yeah. Because he's been a lawyer longer.
Right. If a judge says she should sue because at the end of the day, they are stifling her First Amendment right by penalizing her and by enforcing a penalty, which encroaches on her First Amendment right. At the end of the day.
So with that being said, with that same thing, y'all all think Kurt Schilling should have been fired?
Kurt Schilling was saying shit that
he was saying some foul stuff.
Yeah, he was going up against Well, you know
He
what?
was
Hold
talking
on.
about letting this man that's dressed like a woman walk in the bathroom with your daughter.
Hey,
And see how
listen,
you
I don't know. He might have a case too, bro. Cause real shit, I don't fuck with none of that gay shit. So like, and if I was there, I would speak my mind too, bro. I don't give a fuck.
This is thinking out loud. Hold on, let me let Smith get in. Go ahead, Smith.
Okay,
Hey,
at least you
you about to end the
consistent. You
podcast
consistent, Wills. I
already?
respect that.
No, I'm saying
I
let
respect
me
that because you consistent.
right. So let me let Smith get in.
Get in on what?
Do you agree or disagree with the last question?
I told you what the judge said. What he
No,
says
no,
law.
No,
no.
with the Kurt
Levi,
Schilling.
yeah, Kurt
On
Schilling.
Kurt Schilling, I
Yeah.
don't know the actual
Oh, he
verbiage
said
and what
no. He had a picture
I know
of
why he
a
got fired. I don't
yeah,
know.
no.
What
He had a picture of a man dressed as a woman saying, "You let this walk in with your daughter, and you see how you feel." You telling me that
That's
this
some
guy?
real shit, bro. Oh shit, that nigga shouldn't have been let go on some real shit.
He got
Hey,
But see
fired
that,
for it.
but you want to know why he got fired? The USA would probably let that go because this is the agenda of the society. They probably
so,
won't.
but he got fired.
They gonna tax him. That's a hate crime,
He got fired for being prejudiced against sexual orientation.
bro. You want to know, and you want to know why that sexual orientation got power? Because their group band together and they will fight tooth and nail for
Well, most of
them
the dudes
gays
with high
and all of that
power
shit.
are
Now, if black
gay.
people had a group like that strong, nigga, LBGT is stronger than Peter, my nigga.
Yep.
And Peter fucking is God
They
strong.
got more rights than
Yep.
black people.
Yep.
They got more rights than us niggas.
Man, do
They
you
really
think that
don't. It's just that they exercise their shit. And they're
there are
gonna
more?
stand for their shit. Like it's like their
And
shit now is like
a
us
lot of
back in the
gay
60s
people,
when we had the civil rights movement and our group was moving as a unit. That's how LGBT is right now.
You know why? Because a lot of gay people are in power positions.
No,
A
you
lot
know
of
what?
black people
But
aren't.
people
You
put
know-
them in those positions, and not that
No,
nothing.
they ain't put them in it. They were secretly gay and they got into those higher positions. And then now in Hollywood, it ain't nothing but faggots running that bitch.
Hold on. Let's take a step back. I want to make sure we're clear on the conversation, which we're closing this shit out on, is the fact that Jemele Hill was suspended, and we didn't even get to touch on the fact that Michael Smith decided to take a seat with her in that same protest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How long?
Yeah, she tweeted that 6 hours ago. I love
Right.
Michael Smith for being the biggest supporter, a great friend, terrific husband and father.
Hey,
I
that's
truly
a real
don't deserve
nigga
you.
right there. That's
See
what
you
you're
soon.
supposed to do.
So-
I'm not
He
Right.
said
So
he
he-
would never do the show with anybody else.
So he stands
But he
behind
Did
her.
the show today.
So
Huh?
watch
took
for
1
2
day
weeks
off.
Watch for 2 weeks how low their ratings go.
But he took 1 day off. He back at work today. He was
Now
interviewing Paul Pierce.
that's new information, and unfortunately,
Okay, I didn't know none of
that
this. I thought
that's-
He took a day off.
I thought he was holding it down.
No,
for
no,
2
no.
weeks.
Did he do the show by himself?
He did the show. I didn't see. I saw clips of him talking to Paul Pierce, and then I saw him clips with him interviewing.
Yeah, he said he's not doing the show with anyone else.
He
might have.
Okay,
He did it by himself today.
Okay, so
that's
he's
still him saying
doing
he's
it.
not doing it with nobody else though.
Yeah, he's
He
not.
pretty
He's
much
not
saying
fucking with nobody.
you can't replace her.
Right. You're not gonna bring no other girl, even if it's Carrie Champion, who they both love, but they not gonna bring her on. No Elle Duncan, who they both love, black girl. Last time this happened, they thought she was gonna get suspended, and every black person said they ain't gonna even try to replace her and all of that shit. And Mike said he ain't fucking with doing it without her.
So that goes to show you that the culture stands behind Jemele because, in my opinion, again, Levi, people stand behind Jemele for what she said because that's her right. That's her
But
right.
why you saying that? Like don't agree with what she said. I'm not trying to say that.
No, I'm not saying you disagree. What I'm saying is you agree with the fact that you believe that she should not face a penalty. You don't agree with that fact. You agree that she should face a penalty because
I didn't say she should or shouldn't face a penalty.
you
I
did.
said
You
they got the right to penalize her.
Right, and you said that because she went against the bottom line. That's what you said. She went against the bottom line. So she needs to be penalized.
So they got the right to penalize her for it.
No.
I think they really penalized her because she was talking to Shannon Sharp. and they don't be fucking with niggas who they don't be fucking with niggas who be playing both sides.
And it's an unfortunate situation, but right now we got to come to a closure on this shit. So what I want to do is, in order of opinion, I'm going to give the first word to the co-host, C.Smith.
Right.
C.Smith, what are your last thoughts on this? As far as
my last thoughts
and let me
is
hold on.
this is
Hold
not
on.
the end.
Hold on. Let me preface you for a second. We talked about a lot of shit tonight. We talked about the whole NFL. We talked about NBA. We talked about the government intervention. We talked about racial injustice, and then finally ESPN and how we can be influenced as a culture by the decisions made by corporate America. So, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, well, my actual question that I always ask is like, what is the next step after this? We have the awareness now. We know, to a certain degree, we know why everybody is with the niggas that's taking the knee. But I want to know what's always the next step. Where do we go from here? Or do we boycott the NFL? Are we like, what's the end results? Like, I think that's just it's gonna be never ending. Like, okay, we get it now. It's like taking a knee now. Is after a while, it's gonna get redundant. So
I agree.
And also with the Jemele Hill situation, I feel as though this is not going to be the end. I feel like she's a black woman at that. She has a very powerful opinion, and this won't be the last time that she'll speak her mind on something. And I think she will, if she, really don't want to be with ESPN no more, she would take it to court. Because if she go to court trying to sue them, like, that's going to be her career with ESPN. That's going to be over. So I feel as though if she really gonna take that step, then she's really considering going to another station, which is Fox Sports. So
where she needs to be, in my opinion.
And I feel as though like they let you voice your opinion more freely, because all the people that got fired from ESPN, a la Rob Parker from Detroit, he got fired from First Take or whatever he was on, because he was saying stuff they didn't like. So I feel as though, like...
Because of the RG3 comment.
Yeah, I feel
hold
like...
on. Let him have his piece.
I know you're talking about with because his wife is white, but I feel as though, like, if she gonna go through with this, like, she should, because I feel as though this will make a big difference, and I think it'll shut ESPN down after this, because they already on the downward spiral, like...
Yep, absolutely.
So if they get sued and she actually wins, man, that's gonna just blow people's minds. But I'm just interested in what's gonna happen when she get back.
All right.
I hope she don't apologize. That's my thing. Do not apologize. I hate those PC apologies. Like, stop it. You know what you said. You know what you meant. You ain't gotta apologize.
All right. Smith, you got your last word in. Hey, Woods, what's your last words for the people?
Last words, man. At the end of the day, niggas got to band together, bro. Like, we have the spending power. We have the power in every sport that we watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as Jemele, this won't be the last, because this wasn't even the first. They suspended her when it was Cold Pizza or First Take, before Stephen A. was on the show, because some shit she said. And then her and Mike made the His and Her podcast, and it was so popular they made it the show. So, like, she's always gonna say what she wants, really. It's just that now that we have this president and have this shit going on in sports, they're like kind of like fine-tooth combing everybody's words, because everything can sway the way that the public view things. So that's it, man. Like, that's just my final shit, man. Black people, y'all need to stand together, man. Especially athletes and people with influence. Everybody should band together.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. And then, of course, the big homie Levi, last words, bro.
All right. Say what you gotta do, what you want to do, but make sure in doing so you don't bite the hand that feeds you. If you're gonna do that, then get your
This nigga. Oh my god.
No, let him get it out.
So if you're gonna do that, then we need to build our own platform, so that way we can speak freely without having to ask for money from people that don't necessarily support our agenda.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Oh my god.
You cashing that check every 2 weeks?
Hey, bro.
I'm still saying fuck my job.
I don't give a fuck.
Under my
If the hand that's feeding me smack me, he getting punched.
If your hands feeding me, smack me, I'm gonna go open my. No, they ain't gonna smack me, but I'm gonna go open my own business.
What you listen? What you think?
Like, wait a minute.
What you think a dog gonna do if you hand him his plate and you keep smacking the shit out of him? One day he gonna fucking say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit and I'm gonna bite this nigga. And he gonna fuck you up.
If they own a company, then go start your own company. Why we can't just go start our own company? Why?
It's not that easy. They are in power. They are the gatekeepers.
Listen, athletes aren't fucking businessmen either.
Yeah, but y'all talking about sacrifices. What about former athletes that got money? They gonna take a L initially. Y'all talking about that's the sacrifice.
But do they know how to run business though? You gotta get some niggas that know how to run business.
You can't just have money, man. You gotta have the people with the
knowledge. I get you. So then, yeah, but if you really want to do that, that's what's required. Otherwise, while you're still working for somebody, you still gotta kind of go along with their you still got to kind of go along with what they got to say.
Right. It's kind of crazy to me.
Still gotta like, I ain't saying that it's right, but we all work for people. I can't go bash.
I give you an example, Levi. Like for our job, I work in crisis. Like
right.
Like if you post something, far as like if you're showing our product, like you're taking pictures and posting it online, you get fired for that because now you let the competitor see, you know, what they're up against. So yes, you do have that, right? I understand that, but at the same time, I still can voice my opinion long as I'm not going against my company. Like I don't feel I don't feel like Jemele said something against ESPN per se.
She didn't.
She said something against the sponsors.
Okay, so suppose.
All right, no. Because when you say suppose, it means we're about to have another conversation. So, with that being said, you already know what this is. This is Thinking Out Loud. I want to thank my bro. I want to thank my co-host, Smith. Smith, thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank the big homie, the guest in the building, D.Woods. D.Woods, thank you, bro.
No problem, my nigga. Anytime.
And, of course, the big homie, the big homie, Levi. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Alright, before we get into any more of this bull deep shit, we're gonna end it right now. You know what this is, you know who I am, it's your boy J Lip, and we out.
This episode of Thinking Out Loud was executive produced by J Lip. Music provided by C.Smith. Artwork and logo provided by Rob D. And sponsored by you, the people. We thank you for listening.